Imagine being convicted of a crime, any crime, and receiving a punishment so extreme that death seems merciful. You are standing in front of a stern judge, awaiting your sentence. It's not execution. It's worse. They're not just taking your freedom or dignity, but something far deeper, your essence as a man, castration. But in ancient China, this wasn't just punishment. It was a tool of control. It divested one of identity, severed one from society, and made sure one would never rise again. And yet, in utter shock, this practice became a cornerstone of one of history's most advanced civilizations. Stick with me, and what you will learn about this brutal punishment might change how you will ever view power and control. Ancient China, with its emperors and extensive hierarchies, was governed by laws that were as unbending as the Great Wall itself. Treason, theft, or even whispered dissent earned a punishment worse than death. Why? Because death ends suffering, while castration prolongs it. Imagine yourself in a cold, damp chamber, your crime perhaps no more than angering the wrong person. The tools are crude, the process excruciating. This isn't surgery, it's savagery. You're stripped of your manhood amid screams that linger in the air, a haunting prelude to your turn. The physical agony was devastating, but the emotional and psychological toll was eternal. In ancient China, masculinity was always inseparable from honor, lineage, and family. With no progeny, you were cut from your ancestors' legacy, condemned to fade into oblivion. Alive, yes, but barely. It was more than punishment. It was weaponized. The empire turned these now eunuchs into imperial palace conscripts. On the surface, it would appear as adding insult to injury, men stripped of dignity reduced to servitude. But the reality was rather more complex. Eunuchs were considered safe, without families or ambitions. They posed no threat of dynastic intrigue. As such, they were well suited for sensitive positions in the emperor's court, as gatekeepers, as advisors, and as administrators. At first, pawns, they came to realize an important fact. Proximity to power is power. Through their unique access to the emperor and palace secrets, many eunuchs rose to positions of influence. Some became trusted confidants, shaping policies and amassing wealth. Ironically, the same punishment meant to destroy them enabled a few to become some of the most powerful figures in Chinese history. But for every eunuch who thrived, many others lived their lives in misery, shunned and ridiculed, serving as a constant reminder of the consequences one suffers at the hands of powerful people. Castration was not mere punishment, but a rather disgusting public spectacle, a flesh and blood warning. Even within the palace, life wasn't easy. Serving the system that destroyed you meant navigating constant danger. One misstep in the web of intrigue within the palace could mean exile or worse. Castration in ancient China was both a tool of oppression and, paradoxically, the latter to influence. What does this barbaric practice say about power? Castration was never about justice. It was about control, about breaking a person's autonomy, erasing their future, and showing dominantly. The method has changed, but the principles have remained the same: manipulation and fear. Power structures, ancient or modern, will always seek to divest people of dignity and agency. Yet history also grants us examples of resilience. Many eunuchs, despite unimaginable suffering, found ways to rise and leave their mark. So, what about you? What happens when life takes something away from you? Will you let whatever that is define you, or will you rise above it? What do you think? Could any of these punishments ever be given out in the name of justice? Or is it, again, all about control? Share below. If you found this narrative interesting, share with a history-loving friend, a lover of human psychology, or a person curious about the hidden truths of the past. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back next time for more shocking revelations of history.